Hello everyone, welcome back to the English Echo. We're very happy you're here today. Today we're going to practice English together in a simple and relaxing way.
Yes, exactly. And we have a really wonderful topic for you today. We are going to talk about how to remember things easily. Because, learning new things can be really hard sometimes.
It really can be, especially learning a new language.
Right. But today we will share 5 special memory secrets. And these are secrets used by students in Japan to study better.
I love that. And just to remind you, our conversation today will be very calm. It will be slow and easy to understand. So grab a cup of tea because there's no rush at all.
So before we can remember a really big idea, we have to start with the small things. We need to look at how we see a single word or, just one fact.
Right, like just one new vocabulary word.
Exactly. So our first secret is something called kanji coding. In Japan, students learn many complex characters very quickly.
And they're very difficult characters, right?
Yes, very difficult. But they learn them by turning them into pictures.
Oh, into pictures. How do they actually do that?
Well, for example, the character for the word tree actually looks like a real tree. If you look at it, it has branches at the top and it has little roots at the bottom.
Oh, wow. That is so clever. Actually, that reminds me of a really interesting fact about the brain.
Oh, yeah? What is that?
Well, the brain processes visual images, like pictures, about 60,000 times faster than just reading plain words.
Wait, really? 60,000 times?
Yeah, it is a huge number. Pictures are just so much faster for the brain.
That makes total sense. And it is like drawing a tiny picture of a sun next to a new weather word in your notebook. Your eyes see it, and your brain saves it quickly.
So the takeaway for you is to draw small, simple doodles in your own notes, just tiny pictures to help your brain.
Yes, simple doodles are the best way to start.
Okay, so pictures are great, but what if a fact is just very boring? I mean, how do we remember something dull?
That is a very common problem, and it brings us to the second secret. We need to add emotion and drama to the boring facts.
Drama, like acting in a play.
Kind of. You see, strong emotions leave a real chemical trace in the brain.
A chemical trace? What does that mean exactly?
It means the brain leaves a little mark. And that mark turns into a very strong memory.
Okay, but how do we do that with a boring word?
Let us use a funny example. Instead of just trying to remember what mitochondria is, we can change it.
Okay, mitochondria. That is a biology word, right? Very boring.
Right. So imagine the mitochondria as an angry energy factory. An angry boss yelling at all the other lazy cells.
That is so silly. So if I make a funny or angry face while studying a new English word, will I remember it better?
Yes, absolutely. A little exaggeration or, making up a weird story gives your memory a turbo boost.
A turbo boost. I like that.
Yeah.
So being a little weird helps you learn.
Exactly. The brain loves weird things.
That is really good to know.
So now we know how to look at facts. We draw pictures and we make them funny, but now we need to talk about when to study them. How do you plan your study time?
Well, if I have to study math, I just keep studying math. I will study it for 3 hours straight.
See, that is what most people do. But the third secret is this. Do not study the same topic for too long.
Really? But I want to focus.
I know, but if you are studying math, do not just keep studying math. Instead, you should mix it up.
Mix it up, like change the subject.
Yes. You study math, then you change to history, then you study physics, and then you go back to math.
That sounds a bit confusing. Why does that work?
Because every time the brain switches topics, active recall kicks in.
Active recall.
Right. It forces the brain to work harder, and when the brain works hard to find the information, the memory goes very deep.
Oh, I see. It is exactly like a workout for your brain.
Yeah, that is a great way to think about it.
At the gym, you do not just exercise your arms all day. You do arms, then legs, then run. We should do the same with our books.
Exactly. Mixing it up makes the brain much stronger.
So we drew pictures, we added funny stories, and we mixed our topics.
Yes, those are great steps.
But how do we test if the memory is really locked inside our brain? How do we know it is safe?
That is the fourth secret. The secret is explaining out loud.
Explaining out loud, like talking to myself.
Yes. Let me tell you about an exchange student. He was talking to a wall outside a classroom.
He was talking to a wall.
Yes. He was acting like he was explaining a topic to a 5-year-old child.
Okay, talking to a wall sounds a bit crazy. I mean, what if someone hears you?
I know, it does sound funny. But I promise it is a great trick.
Why is it a great trick?
Because when you explain something out loud in your own words, you quickly hear the gaps.
The gaps, like the empty spaces in your memory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The missing pieces. If you stumble or stop, You know what you forgot.
That makes sense. But what if I do not want to talk to a wall?
Here's a good idea. Record a voice note on your phone in the morning.
Okay, record myself explaining a word.
Right. And then try to explain it out loud again in the evening.
That is a great idea. Then I can listen to it and hear my mistakes.
It works perfectly every time.
So after all this talking and thinking, let us look back at our notebooks. How should our paper actually look?
That is our fifth and final secret. It is the power of wide, empty space on the page.
Empty space. But I always try to fill the whole page with notes.
Yes, many people write too many words on one page.
Yeah.
But Japanese notebooks use a lot of blank white space
Why is empty space so helpful?
because it gives your ideas breathing room.
Breathing room. I like that.
When the brain sees visual gaps, it naturally organizes the information better.
Oh, I see. It is like looking at a messy room versus a clean room.
Yes, exactly. A messy room makes you feel stressed.
Right. A clean page with breaks between ideas gives the brain a visual rhythm so it does not feel tired.
That is a beautiful way to say it. Visual rhythm is so important for learning.
We have learned so many good secrets today.
We really have. And I want to leave you with one final thought to think about.
Okay, what is it?
To help you start painting right away, we want to leave you with a challenge. A practical exercise you can do the moment this audio finishes. Look around the room you're sitting in right now. Maybe you are on a train. Maybe you are in your kitchen.
Look closely at your environment. Pick one normal, boring object in the room. A chair, a coffee cup, a window. Now ask yourself, how could I explain this object to a 5-year-old child using a completely exaggerated dramatic story?
How could you draw it using only 3 simple lines? How would you describe it using the most basic English words but adding massive emotion?
Try to build that story in your head right now. Make it funny, make it weird, wake your brain up. It is the perfect way to step into this new artistic way of learning. Thank you for listening to the English Echo. Keep practicing English every day. See you in the next episode.